Hey guys, this is Bacon Chris here, and today I wanted to show you a video about my top 10 favorite roller coasters. This is a request by Seplays, which is one of my favorite YouTubers who subscribed to my channel. And I'm excited to do my top 10 favorite roller coasters, so I decided to do this for my fans. Let's begin. Number 10, Steel Force at Dorney Park in Wildwater Kingdom. This is actually one of my first big roller coasters that I've been on. And when I was a kid, I always thought that the coaster was a spaceship because of the way the train is designed. It was really cool. It allowed me to experience new heights. It's not really the tallest hyper coaster in the world, but it's a lot of good times. One of my favorite coasters as a kid. Yeah, it sure is. Because, yeah. Number 9 is Batman the Ride at Six Flags Great Adventure. I like this ride because, even though it's a clone, I like how it's themed to one of my favorite DC superheroes, Batman. It's a cool experience, but I'm kind of jealous that most of the Six Flags parks have the same exact Batman clone. Even SeaWorld in San Antonio has a Batman clone not themed to Batman. I mean, Batman's cool, but yeah. Ugh. I always go on this ride every time I go to Great Adventure. Number 8 is Green Lantern at Six Flags Great Adventure. I really do like stand-up coasters, even though it hurts your legs. But this is like one of the best stand-up coasters I've been on because it's based on a movie that a lot of people hate. Green Lantern, starring Ryan Reynolds and Blake Lively. Sorry, just sick. This coaster used to be in Six Flags Kentucky Kingdom, and it was named Chang. It was Kentucky Kingdom is still open today, but it's not called Six Flags. What they did was, it was opened in 1997, and then it was closed. I forget what year, but then in 2011, it was open at Great Adventure. I like how there's a yellow vertical loop. It's pretty cool how B&M was able to make colored attractions, One thing that's really cool, this coaster is not really on my top 10 list, but I also like the Incredible Hulk coaster because I'm surprised that Bollinger and Malibard, the manufacturer, were able to make DC coasters, but they were also able to do a B&M coaster involving Marvel comics. So that's why, one of the reasons why I love DC and Marvel. Because their coasters are fun. Pretty cool theming. Well, anyway, back to Green Lantern. I love the movie. It was really good. And if you don't like the movie, that's okay. Number 7 is Apollo's Chariot at Busch Gardens, Virginia. And this is like one of the best B&M hypers around there because there's a tunnel, you go over a stream, lake. I remember when this coaster first opened in 1999, Fabio, who was like a famous actor, got his nose cut by a bird while riding on the ride. It was pretty disturbing, but the theming's good, It's about a Greek god who sends messages and goes to the sun. I mean, I'm glad Busch Gardens has a good selection of B&M at both Africa and Europe. Number 6 is Raptor at Cedar Point. And this is like one of the best inverted roller coasters that I've been on so far. I like how The trains are, you're dangling. You get a good view of Lake Erie. It has good inversions, including like a Cobra roll. And the Cobra roll is, okay. I mean, I've been on other inverted coasters that have Cobra rolls, like Alpengeist at Busch Gardens, Virginia, and Dueling Dragons, the blue one. But I was sad that Dueling Dragons was closed. I mean, it's a good coaster. Now they're just replacing it with some baby coaster. Number 5 is Gatekeeper at Cedar Point. And one pretty cool thing about this coaster is that it allows you to go through the front gate of the park. Wow. I like how there's nothing above or below you. Unlike one of the coasters that I've been on, the Joker 4D Free Fly coaster at Great Adventure, it spins you, but this doesn't. But you know what? When you get on the lift hill, especially if you're not wearing any shoes, you feel a really cool breeze up there. That's because of the Lake Erie weather. And yes, Cedar Point is an awesome park. Number 4 is Maverick at Cedar Point. I've been on this coaster in 2009 and 2016. And yes, this coaster was awesome because I'm not really a fan of launch coasters, but I like this launch because it's slow. I'm not a huge fan of launch coasters like King the Ka or, Wicked Twister or Top Thrill Dragster. I mean, I've been on these coasters, not Wicked Twister. I like the theming. I love how you go under the tunnel. It has a pretty cool tunnel, yes. And one thing that I really liked about this coaster is that their harnesses are really comfortable. They were changed in 2015. Yeah. Kind of reminds me of many of the cowboy movies I watched, like Maverick, Toy Story, Rango. Yeehaw! Number 3 is Millennium Force at Cedar Point. This is the Cedar Point's most iconic roller coaster of all time. And what I like about this roller coaster is that you go really extremely high, 310 feet. That's taller than the Statue of Liberty. And it's fun to get scared, when you're on top of water or something like that. But once you drop, it starts to turn out fun, It's like one of the best giga coasters on the planet. Number 2 is Bizarro. Even though I said, Bizarro is my favorite coaster of all time, it's probably not because, I don't know, maybe theming. I mean, there isn't too much theming on this coaster. I mean, it's supposed to be themed to Superman's nemesis that Lex Luthor created, Bizarro. And there used to be audio on this coaster, but they removed it. I like how there's fire and, cooling mist and other special effects. I do remember being on Coaster Kids when I was filmed, waiting in line. I always like to go on the front row of every roller coaster, so yeah, pretty cool experience. Okay, are you ready for my number 1 favorite coaster? Which is Kraken at SeaWorld. Well, this is Kraken Unleashed. And the number 1 reason why it's my favorite coaster of all time is because the theming's great because you go through a tunnel, it's out and back a bit. The colors are nice. I really enjoy the colors. And plus, even in hot Florida weather, it feels really nice. There's a coaster similar to this, the Incredible Hulk. But except they don't have floorless trains. But I do like the floorless coasters because, your feet dangle. And then there's this weird gate saying, "Let the ride begin!" You know, I never tried it. I went on this ride in 2012. And I never tried the virtual reality experience. And another thing that I was hoping... I also like Manta at SeaWorld, which is that B&M flying coaster. There's also... And one ride that looks pretty cool is Mako, which is that B&M hypercoaster. The pretty cool thing about SeaWorld Orlando is that they have free B&M coasters, Kraken, Manta, and Mako. And they all look like really fun attractions. Well, that's a wrap from my top 10 roller coasters. Credit goes to Seplay and my fans. Well, this is Bacon Chris signing off.